Welcome, everybody, to Whittier Regional Vocational Technical School Board meeting, Wednesday, January 8th. I'd like to have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Sean.
Roll call, I guess, but anyway. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job, Sean. Thank you.
All right, there's no public comments here. Anybody here from the public have any comments?
Mr. Chairman, I move the approval of November 13 minutes of the regular school committee meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Treasurer report.
You want to vote it?
What's that? Let's vote on it. Go ahead. Everybody in favor?
We have a second?
I'm sorry, Dave, we second it?
Yep, second. Oh, we did, okay. Sorry about that. No, Dave seconded.
You seconded, Dave?
Yep.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Student rep not here. Any old business?
Mr. Chairman, I move the treasurer's report from November and December.
Second.
All those in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, no old business, no student rep. The MASC award presentation.
Mr. Chairman, we have Mike Gilbert with us from Mass Association of School Committees to make a presentation to Nate Bernard. Nate was a student who graduated from Whittier Tech last year. He excelled in electronics robotics. Nate is here tonight with his mother, I believe. Yes. If you'd like to come up to the podium with Mr. Gilbert.
Don't be bashful.
Mike's never bashful.
Good evening.
It is a pleasure to be back here at Whittier Voc Tech at a school committee meeting. I will tell you, I do not miss it.
Got a chair over here.
I'm here tonight on behalf of the association. On an annual basis, we honor the vocational technical students who have achieved the pinnacle in the state of Massachusetts. They've won a gold medal in their area. Nate's was electronics technology. So on an annual basis, we try to do this for vocational students around the state. So Nate, on behalf of the Massachusetts Association of School Committees, congratulations on your excellent work.
Thank you.
You may want to tell the committee what you're doing now that you've had some time away from Whittier.
Okay. As of now, I am a freshman at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I'm studying computer science, and depending on how the classes go, I may also dual major with computer engineering.
Where are you from, Nate?
I'm from Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Thank you.
I think a round of applause.
I had to ask that question.
And that was a great question.
Anybody have any questions for him? Go ahead.
Did you just graduate last June?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How you like the big city?
It's pretty nice. It was a bit of a change.
Weren't you considering other schools, too?
Yeah. The only school I got denied from was MIT.
They're lost.
That's
That's right,
You
exactly.
might
There,
get there
there were a
someday.
few on the list, yes.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank
Good
you.
luck. Thank you. Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman, next, we have Sharon Welsh, our art teacher, Dan Sullivan, carpentry teacher, to talk to us and do a presentation on the float. And after their presentation on the float, we'll be going down to see the float from the Haverhill that was used in the Haverhill Parade. And I also want to mention, and need to mention, I don't want to embarrass either instructor, but both of them intends to retire this year and move on. There was a great article in the local paper about the two of them and their work on the floats over the years. I don't know if committee members had a chance
That
to
was
see
a
that or
nice
not.
article.
Yeah, I saw
That was a
it.
great
It was
article.
great.
Yeah.
So Sharon and Dan, and Sharon, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight with my colleague, Mr. Sullivan, Team Welch and Sullivan, to present to you the 2013 Holiday Float. This float was based upon a theme that the VFW Parade Committee came up with, which was Santa Claus is coming to town. The challenge that we had was no Santa could be on this float. So we had a little parody going, and we changed the words around, and we put one big, giant cooked red lobster that represented Santa Claus on top of a lobster trap that represented Santa's sleigh being drawn by, instead of reindeers, some seahorses. And to attract the kids who are our audience, we did a Finding Nemo theme. Again, this was probably about over 200 kids that have worked on this float, along with the carpentry kids, the art students, the metal fabrication kids, auto body kids, and I don't know if did I think of anyone else? If I missed you, I apologize for that. Oh, electrical kids, always electrical kids. We have been working together I have been working on the float since 1994, and Mr. Sullivan joined the team on about 3 years, 1999. And so we've designed quite a few and built quite a few together, and I would really like to thank all the students from 1994 that have worked on this float with us. It's been a great collaborative learning experience for the school, for the kids, and a great sense of pride when the float goes down that parade route and everyone's like, yay, Whittier. And the kids are just like, I built that. And so if you'd like to join us for a viewing, we'll all go down.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All of the objects on here were on the truck. So this was on the bed of the truck, these were on the side of the truck, stuff was hanging down. This was on top of the truck, and then coming around, so originality. Yeah. Here we go.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We got a few seats missing here, but we'll be all set. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Happy New Year. In front of you for informational purposes, I have some personnel actions, the hiring of an accounts payable clerk, hiring for Portuguese translation services, hiring for winter coaches, and hiring for evening school. In terms of a budget update, we've already met with the administrators, the cluster chair department heads to review the budget requests for the upcoming school year. Upon completion of the review, we established priorities. We took a look at our student census, where students placed in Chapter 74 programs, and we compiled a budget that we submitted for the first time for this first executive subcommittee earlier this evening. In terms of an MCAS update, the November retest has been completed. The results will be available around January 23rd. That's not always an exact, but we expect around January 23rd. In December, we hired 2 teachers after school to remediate students that had to retake the biology MCAS in February. The program will run from January 8 to 29, and we're running a free MCAS program for juniors who need to pass the MCAS program. February test dates are the 3rd and 4th. In terms of the superintendent's update, on Tuesday, November 19, I hosted Charlie Lyons, the superintendent of Shawshene Tech, for breakfast. The discussion centered around the upcoming school budget and ideas for projection on Chapter 70, because as you know, until we have figures on Chapter 70 in school aid, we never really know how our assessments are gonna fall and the expenditures. On Wednesday, November 20th, I attended the Haverhill Community Television's 25th Anniversary Academy Awards at the Renaissance Golf Club. I would like to thank Darlene Beal of Haverhill Community Television for their continued support. Through Darlene's leadership, Haverhill Community Television is always present at Whittier when it's filming an open house. And this year, they actually came and they filmed the construction of the float that was used in the Santa Parade, and also Sharon and Dan's design and work. And I also would like to congratulate them. They celebrated their 25th anniversary this year, Haverhill Community Television. On Thursday, November 21st, I attended the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce Executive Luncheon Series. I'd like to thank Joe Bevilacqua for the invitation. In attendance was the Governor of the Commonwealth, along with Brian Dempsey, Head of House Ways and Means, and Senator Katie O'Connor Ives. I had the opportunity to meet with the Governor and discuss educational funding and thank him for his continued support in Chapter 70 in the Commonwealth. On Monday, November 25th, I hosted Representative Diana DiZoglio for a tour and lunch. She's newly elected and covers the Bradford section of Haverhill. On Thursday, December 5th, I attended the Haverhill Rotary Lunch at the Haverhill Country Club. On Tuesday, December 10th, 2013, I hosted Karen Andrea of the Eagle Tribune. Karen is the new publishing editor of the newspaper group. I had an excellent conversation with her at lunch. It was an excellent opportunity to talk about, because she feels that she wants the local papers to be more community-based and have more community interest in them. We talked about some ideas about working together, and she even volunteered to come and speak to the student body around journalism and as a field and things like that. So I appreciate her taking the time, being a newly appointed publisher of a major newspaper, to take the time to come to Whittier. On Wednesday, December 11th, I attended the Merrimack Valley Superintendent's Luncheon. We held that here at Whittier. We do that annually so that superintendents are able to bring their executive assistants as guests for a holiday luncheon. On Friday, December 13th, I attended the MASC Emerging Issues in Educational Law 2013 in Boston. The program included a review of the legal status of district-determined measures, a presentation on the implementation of background checks by recent legislation, and an update on current Supreme Court decisions and cases that relate to education. On Monday, January 6th, I attended the inauguration of the Mayor of Haverhill, the Honorable James Fiorentini. At the inauguration, also new city council members were sworn in, and also members of the school committee. And I would like to thank the Honorable Mayor James Fiorentini for the invitation to the inauguration. On Tuesday, January 7th, I attended a meeting at Shawshene Tech with State Treasurer Steve Grossman. The discussion was around policies on career and vocational technical education. The treasurer discussed ways to enhance career and vocational technical education and to close the skills gaps between our schools and the workforce and job market. I'd like to thank the treasurer for his continued support of vocational technical education. In terms of my goals, I submitted to you, as you know, by regulation, I'm required to give you a mid-cycle, for lack of better terminology, review of where I am on the update of my goals. I have that in your packet. I welcome anything that anybody has to say at this point.
Nice job, you did a good
Yeah.
job, and I think
Thank
the
you.
halfway point, that's excellent. It gives us a range to go to toward the end.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, move to accept the update on goals from the superintendent.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, also, Mr. Chairman, as you know, according to school committee policy, you accept donations on behalf of the school district. I'd like to mention that the principal, who couldn't be here tonight because she's at a professional development opportunity, found out around Christmas time that, around the holidays, that there were students who were facing financial difficulties and really wouldn't have had the opportunity to have a great Christmas. So we held a fundraiser. We established a way for staff to contribute money to be able to provide something for those students. We received $4,620 for Whittier students in need for the holiday season. $2,000, I have to mention specifically UPS. UPS workers, through their vending machines, raise money for United Way for donations. I was at a Merrimack Valley Chamber event. The person that was there from UPS heard me talking about the fundraiser that we were doing, and he called us and came to lunch and came forward with a $2,000 check. And I also would like to thank Cal Williams. Cal Williams works for United Way. He's also associated with the Merrimack Valley Workforce Investment Board. He and his wife won a $200 door prize at a Merrimack Valley event, and he donated that $200 as well. So I'd like to publicly thank those individuals. Also in your packet tonight, there is a picture and a story that was published in the local paper about Whittier Regional staff making sure students have a Merry Christmas. In the picture, you see Jody Sullivan, who is a Haverhill police officer, security guard Charles Early, phys ed teacher Roxanne Grover, athletic director Kevin Bradley, security director Cheryl Began, and also not in the picture, who was essential in this, was Terry Brad, one of our English teachers, and Rich Pacelli. So in addition to asking you to accept the $4,620 donation, I would also like to publicly thank these individuals and all the staff that came together and donated money toward this holiday drive.
Mr. Chairman, move to accept
Second.
and thank.
Thank you. Do you have that letter? You're gonna read that letter, or?
Yes, I have a few more donations in this, I will get to that. Also, along the lines of donations, we had a 2002 Mazda donated to Auto Technology that's valued at $2,749. We also have a metal fab student who Thane Cummings, who donated $400, a drum set to our music program worth $400. Mike Mundy of Arwood Machinery, and you know that Arwood has been a great supporter. He was our guest speaker last year for our advisory board dinner. Donated equipment worth $3,500. So I respectfully request the school committee accept those donations.
Mr. Chairman, ask for approval of the donations as written.
All in favor?
No, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Also, I have a couple of field trips that I need to have school committee approval on. According to your policy manual, when students travel out of state on a field trip, it needs to be by a vote of the school committee. Our ski club has proposed 2 trips, one on the 11th of January to Okemo Mountain in Ludlow, Vermont. It's a one-day trip, coming and going one day. It's not an overnight. The reason why you're voting is because it's out of state.
Move to approve.
All in favor? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
The second one is on March 1st. They're going to Sunday River in Newry, Maine. And again, it's a one-day trip, not an overnight. What you're approving is out of state.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, also in your packet tonight, there are a couple of other articles that I included. One from the classrooms to hotels, tourism. If you remember Beverly DeSalvo, when she did the update on vocational technical programs, talked about our new approval in hospitality and restaurant management. And there was a great editorial that was also written in the newspaper that accompanies that article, so I gave both of those to committee members tonight. A couple of things on outside projects, and then I have a letter to read. For behavioral housing, we're working on a pergola during the winter in the shop that will be installed obviously when the weather is better and in the spring. The students in carpentry continue to work in Georgetown on elderly housing. The electrical services will be doing for the Toll House in Haverhill, but that's going to be held off for a little bit. The Amesbury Council on Aging, we did a holiday concert on December 12th. And in Amesbury, we did a cake for the superintendent's office. And in terms of community service, we hosted 3 holiday buffets in order to accommodate the community requests. We did eclairs and cookies for a holiday party in Haverhill that raises money for students in need. And that's it for community service and community projects. I have a letter, Mr. Chairman, if I may, that was sent to me from Judy Zano from Haverhill. It's about one of our students that's on our wrestling team. that we're really, really proud of. So I'd like to, if I can, indulge if the committee will indulge me for a minute and read the letter. Mr. DeRosa, I'm writing to inform you of something that happened at Whittier Tech's Super Quad Wrestling Meet on December 31, 2013. One of the towns at the meet has a special needs student on the team. He is a heavyweight. I noticed both Whittier coaches talking to the team and to Jalen DeVoe before Jalen went out on the mat to wrestle the boy. Once the match started, Jalen's behavior was exceptional. He got a takedown and then allowed the other boy to get an escape. The look on the other boy's face as he earned a point was priceless. Whittier team members cheered for Jalen's opponent whenever he scored. Jalen continued the back and forth for a bit before gently pinning the other student, which was important to members of the team. At the end of each match, each single Whittier team member stood and cheered, and the students left the mat with a smile on his face. I had tears in my eyes. I feel it's important for you to know because it says a lot about Whittier coaches, the team, and for Jalen. As you know, wrestling is a very highly competitive sport, yet our coaches, recognizing the situation, talked to the team and made sure that a wrestler from the other team got to feel good about himself. They should be commended for having such compassion and understanding. The team should be commended for their maturity and their support for a student from another team. Finally, I was mostly impressed with Jalen, a senior on the team, who was willing to put his reputation on the line to make a special needs student feel special. It's a moment I remember for a long time, and I just feel I need to share with pride and respect for the members of the team and the wrestling coaches so that you know. Thanks for listening, Judy Zano. I got this letter the other day. I met with the wrestling coach and I met with the team member and thanked them also. And I'm really proud to be able to bring forward that kind of information to the committee. Obviously, wrestling is a competitive sport, and what was more important, and winning was not the most important thing. So I just wanted to bring that forward, and I know that Mr. Early, our chair, also received a copy of the letter this evening and wanted that read at tonight's meeting.
Good, nice letter.
Nice to hear good news.
Good news, thank you.
And that's it for my report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we don't have the principal here, so we'll have the principal.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Superintendent DeRosa. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
We're at mid-year, and you have a variance report again, and this time I believe they are in color. I know the last time I had mentioned in my memo that the accounts that were under were in yellow and the accounts that were over were in green, and it wasn't in color, and this time it is. But anyway, I just wanted to say that when you get to a mid-year, you kind of have a good idea as to where you are, and you also see some things that come out. And many of the accounts that are negative at this point are due to just a couple of major generalized types of things, and I did outline a couple of them in the memo. Excuse me. The first is that special education costs are up. I think you hear that all over the state. Part of that is because you never know the students that you're going to get in, and when they come in, they have certain IEP mandates that you have to meet. But the other is that grant funds have been slowly decreasing over the years, so we have to absorb some of those costs back in the general budget. Transportation costs are somewhat up because of the expense of transporting. Fuel is certainly up, and we are running a lot of late buses because we have, quite honestly, a lot of children involved in programs. And so that's a good thing, but the costs go up a little bit because of that. When you see supply accounts go up, it's also because you have enrollment needs. You often don't know here the number of students that are going to enroll in some of the programs until they've been here and gone through some of the programs. So a budget is always your best estimate at the time, a point in time, which in this case would have been about a year ago. But you also see that there are, excuse me, I have a terrible cold, many supply accounts that are under budget, and that's because as the students shift, some programs will need more supplies and other programs don't need as many as they had planned on. And then finally, you'll see some of the insurance accounts look like they're over, and some of them look like they're under, and what happens is the insurances kind of go off, they change every year. Some go up, some go down. What I did was I took all the insurances and added them up, and the net overall insurance cost is still under budget. So At mid-year, we have $205,950 in overages in accounts, and we have at least $205,950 in other accounts that will offset the overages. So we're in very good shape. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Go ahead.
Yes, that's very informative. On page 2, under salaries, class advisors,
Yes.
I noticed that the budget was 45,000, and you've already encumbered the 35.
Yes.
Is that a balance of what we haven't encumbered, or is that an overage?
We've encumbered an advisor, expected advisor cost because they haven't been paid yet. They typically get paid at the end of the year.
Yeah, but is none of it encumbered?
They're encumbered.
Right, but what about this $9,000 balance?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know if there are other advisors that hadn't been
Haven't
appointed
been?
yet. I don't
Okay.
know. I can get an answer for you on that.
Okay.
But what we try to do here is if we know that the expenditure's coming,
Oh,
even
yeah,
though it's not going to be
right.
paid till the end of the year,
Yeah.
we placehold it.
Okay, and then, under the guidance director, is that just a,
That is actually, that's shifting. That guidance director is supposed to be paid for out of the school budget.
Oh, okay.
It was being paid for out of school choice. That
Oh.
correction has been made.
all right, good. Then, I have another quick one. It's on page, it's over here, it's on page, 7. We had 18,000 budgeted for security equipment,
Yes.
and we haven't spent any of that?
Not yet. We upgrade the cameras, so there are plans to upgrade the cameras. We will probably do that as we move into the
I
spring.
was gonna say, yeah, that's gonna be a spring project, Charlie, we're replacing cameras.
But we're taking 10 grand out of it already.
Oh, did I? I see. You know what? Because I see that in another account. I think that's why I did that. I think I saw something similar to that in another account.
Okay.
Oh, that one, the green.
And I get one last one. Under the, on page 8, under employer share health insurance, it's 3.1 million.
Yep.
We've expended 2.2.
Mm-hmm.
And we've encumbered 106. And then there's a balance of 825.
I have a mid-year adjusting entry to do that, which
Oh, you
will
do?
bring the withholdings in. It will bring it back up by about $1.5 million.
Oh, good, good. So we kind of like expend a lot right off the front.
What Kara's doing, she's encumbering what we know we're gonna have as expenses.
Okay.
But we withhold a certain amount, Mr. LaBella.
Right.
And then periodically, we have to make that transfer back in and reduce the expense.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Good
Thank
job.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kara.
Annual agenda item, policy updates.
As far as I know, we do not have any updates at this
Yeah,
time.
we're set on those,
Okay. Variance and list,
and we did that,
budget review.
we did that,
Then, did you want to do the update on your goals?
we did that.
We accepted
So,
them.
you accepted them?
All right, so you're all,
Yep.
thank you. Annual agenda, budget review, February.
Next month, yeah, we'll be doing a budget review, and we'll have had another, what do you call it, executive subcommittee.
And you're going to send the paperwork out to us in advance? Thank you. Subcommittees, executive met tonight, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, we met tonight to start working on the budget.
All right. Instructional personnel, Joanne, she's not here. Any news on that? No. Plan operations, Brett.
We have not met. I don't believe there's any reason for a
Not
meeting
at this
at this
time.
time.
Thank you. Salary and negotiations, Charlie.
We have not met, but we have to meet. We have 2 contracts coming up for negotiations, superintendents and director, Ms. Lowell, right?
Director of Special Ed.
Director
yes.
of Special Ed.
Vote to schedule something with Lisa when you get a chance,
Yep,
right?
we will.
And just make sure you have a full complement of members for that subcommittee.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
Should we look at a date now? Lisa has a calendar. Should we look at a date now, come up with a few dates that we know members can do?
Are the assignments been given out since spring? Is it the same? Subcommittees? Same as before?
I think salary changed.
Salary changed.
The new chair doesn't,
They added you, and
You
I
are in
declined,
addition.
and I recommended Jane.
I'm on a, really?
You,
Well, you
Charlie,
wanted it.
I know, but I,
you,
Dave.
Charlie, Joanne,
can you send that out?
Dave.
I don't remember.
It's on the back of that sheet.
This- Whenever you get a chance, just send out the subcommittee assignments.
Yeah. There's me.
So how about, there are 2 Wednesdays that are available in January,
Sure.
either the
What's
15th
good for it?
or the
Joanne's
22nd.
salary.
15.
Does the new chair, you guys do it?
Yeah,
Nelson, you on
Does the
that
chair
committee?
divvy out the
Yeah.
assignments?
Nelson's on
here?
it too.
How you doing, Dave?
Do you do it?
yes.
15 or 27?
Point of information. Is it the same here? Does the chairman
Either one.
make,
Yes,
do the
yes.
the
Yes, already done.
delegate
That was
and
already
appoint the subcommittees?
Yeah.
We have a new chair, so did you already do that?
No, but that was already done.
That stays on.
It stays the same?
That
Okay.
Stays for the term.
Stays for the,
March.
22nd. How's that sound?
22nd, what time,
Oh, you're not? Oh.
Jake?
What time? 7? 6:30?
Whatever you guys want.
Would you like it?
6:30, any problem?
I'm sorry.
Salary negotiations.
Salary, yeah.
We'll do both?
Mhm.
Salary negotiations, 22nd
Of,
January,
6:30.
6:30.
You send that out to us?
okay, she said, thank you. 6:30.
It'll be in the superintendent's office, right?
Mhm.
In the back.
And a
Please.
final, if I may,
Right.
a final clarification, who is on salary subcommittee?
Mr. Burns, Mr. Mansfield, Mr. Tui, Mr. Labella, and Dr.
Joanne.
Testaverde.
Dr. Testaverde. 5. That's 5, right?
Thank you. Mr. Irving?
You know if she's gonna be back, Dave?
Next month.
Oh, I didn't do that. You
Oh,
dope.
next month.
I'm not sure about the end of this month.
Everybody can make it? You can make it, Nelson?
Yep.
Make it. We have a busy schedule.
I'm putting it in right now.
Thank you.
All set?
Thank you.
Policy.
Okay, in your packet this evening are the minutes from November 13. Move for acceptance of
Second.
the minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
And I don't believe we need a meeting, Mr. Superintendent,
Not
at
at
this
this
point?
time.
Okay.
School Building Committee wastewater.
Wastewater, we had a meeting tonight. And also, I believe, I'm just getting to that section of the book, sorry. I think there are notes from the last time, or minutes from the last time that we met. Those don't need approval, those are
Right.
for informational purposes, and they're in your packet tonight. And that's it, Mr.
How's
Chairman.
the project going?
I'm sorry?
How's the project going?
We're,
And 65%.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're about 65, 66% finished. If weather hadn't gotten as cold, we'd probably be a little bit further ahead. And there was a delay on some of the equipment. They're looking at very early spring being 100% completed. The deadline that DEP gave us was end of August, so we're still well ahead of schedule. We're okay. And all the supplies and materials that we need to complete the project are already here on site, so it's not even, it's just a question of waiting for different weather.
All set? Got some meeting dates coming up. Executive Subcommittee meeting is February 12th, 5:30.
Yeah, and that's to work on the budget, that's the second
budget
budget
one.
meeting.
Okay, and we got a regular school committee is February 12th, 7 PM. We have a budget workshop, March 5th, at 5:30 PM.
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday night,
It's a Wednesday night.
all right?
Send these off. Let me send these.
Any questions? Yes,
Just want to know who attends, everyone?
all members, yes.
All members.
Excuse me. Didn't we have them on Saturdays before?
Yes,
Oh.
and you, as a committee, you asked to change that, so we did. It used to be a Saturday.
Wanted to bring it up.
We couldn't seem to find a Saturday that we could get enough people that would come.
We never had a full, I've been here 14 years, I don't believe
Yeah,
it.
earning
I
money.
know, yeah.
Any new business?
None, Mr. Chairman.
Executive session, no.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.